Hello everybody. It is December 20th, Thursday, 2018. How are we doing today? How are we doing tonight? Wherever you are in this great big world, hope you're doing alright. Today's video, we're going to talk about my experiences with the Underworld. I'm going to explain a little bit more of this in the late night rant and ramble. But I was watching a video from my brother, Waylon, at the Black Tower. His particular video, when the gods call, the Azoni preparations. Something like that. Even though I just watched it not too long ago today. I'm watching this video because I'm looking for something in particular he mentioned to me. And I thought it might be in that video. I'm watching the video and I'm like, wow, I never really talked about my experiences with the Underworld. I have in passing, but it was mostly focused on Ereshkigal. For those who don't know, my main patron goddess is Ereshkigal, queen and ruler of the dead and underworld in the Mesopotamian pantheon. So I never really talked about it in a little bit more detail. I'm like, huh. Now, I want to share this with you all, because I know no one's going to have the same experience. And, well, let's begin in 2010. In 2010, when Ereshkigal was trying to reach out to me, I would have these visions of me riding this black horse in a black desert. The rocks, the gravel, the sand, the dead trees, the mountains. Everything was a carbonized color of black. But it wasn't dead. It was alive. The only thing of color was the perpetual sunset in the sky. That's the only thing of color. And I would have this vision a couple more times. Now, this was me going to the western gate that was in the mountains. And each time I would have these visions, I would be a little bit more closer to the mountain. And it would always be the same thing all the time that I would have these visions. Hell, even I was dressed in black, which is par for the course because I'm dressed in black right now. I always dress in black. Jump to leap year 2012, February 28th. Because I remember this very well, because the next day was leap year. Or leap day. The next day was leap day. And I had went to bed. Because I had to get up and go to my probation officer later that day. I was awakened with this wolf howl. Like, there was a wolf outside my bedroom window, howling. That woke me up, and the next thing I know, I'm flying out of my body. My possessing demon, Athet, is next to me. You know, we're space folding into this world that is nighttime. Perpetual night. Like midnight. It was dark. And it consisted of 3 colors. Black, blue, like a metallic blue. No, an electric neon blue. That's more appropriate. And purple. Black, blue, and purple. And the only thing of light of any color were these 2 torches in this particular area that we were at. Which was in this destroyed, crumbled temple or castle. And there's these 2 torches on the wall. And Ereshkigal steps up from the middle. So she was in between these 2 torches. Now, I can't tell you if I remember there ever being a moon there, because I really don't remember it. I just remember it being black as midnight. And being in this 2 torch lit temple or castle. Because all that was left standing was this wall. And then I would later go on, when I got back in my body, I would tell my friend, Vivian. And she says, I know where you went. Because I'd been there too. You went to this place called Chalice Mirito. Now I'm like, what the heck? I've never heard of that before. And it's not on Google, I'll tell you that. Now, Vivian, she's one of those practitioners of magic that's well versed in a lot of magic. Like, she has a good amount of knowledge of different magics from different paths. She's helped me greatly with my path in 2012. I'm like, she's basically said what it means is, it means the underworld. You went to the underworld. Now, the underworld you went to reflects your magical colors. And I'm like, magical colors? She's like, yes, everybody's got magical colors. Mine is orange and yellow. Yours was black, blue, and purple. And I'm like, wow. Now, magical colors, you know, that's personal belief, But I would later on go on to hear that everybody, has magical colors. It's just that if they want to, go with that or not. So, neither here nor there. So, she was telling me that this place is a world that, when you enter it, it changes colors to that person's colors. When she entered, she told me that it changed into this orange and yellow. She even went as far as to tell me what she saw in her experience. Which is the coolest fucking shit ever, I'll tell you that. I wish I got to see it. She got to see a fucking griffin flying. Like, she saw a griffin flying. And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. And when she was talking about it, I had this vision, like this actual vision in my mind's eye. Not my imagination, but my mind's eye. Of her entering. And there's these two stone statues of these, I guess, either griffins or lions. Symbolizing entering this land. And I'm picturing everything in the color that she's talking about. Basically, a late, sunny summer afternoon. With the griffin flying, I saw. Now, I would go on to have more visions of this place later on. Starting from that entrance. And making my way through this world. But, again, this time, in my colors. The way I saw it and when I entered it. The blacks, the blues, the purples, midnight. And from what I saw of the world as I made my way through, it's just like everything that was on the outside of that gate. Remember, I said I was journeying to the gate of the west, and everything was black and perpetual sunset. But on the other side of that gate was midnight. And it was just a continuation of that. It's like entering a doorway. Like you go from inside to outside, outside to inside. Is that making sense? And I would have this a couple more times. So we jump to 2013. This would be the last time I would be in the underworld. We were at this Magick class offered at my local metaphysical shop. And my teacher was Natalie Black, whose wife is Lorelei Black, who some of you might know. If you've watched Jeremy Crow, you know, you've probably already seen his interview with Lorelei Black. Jeremy Crow, if you don't know, he's basically like Michael W. Ford, just without the music. So, which I thought was the coolest shit ever that he interviewed her. I'm like, wow, she came to a couple of my magic classes and taught with her wife. So, we did this particular meditation that is often used in a women's retreat for pagans and witches, according to Miss Black, that she often does there. And it's basically a guided meditation of Inanna's descent into the underworld. And so, first of all, I can't meditate to save my life. I have to have a guided meditation. And even then, I struggle. But this one, this meditation, this guided meditation, I didn't have any problems whatsoever. Funny, huh? So we start our descent. Now, we're in this black room with white fog at the bottom. And there's the gatekeepers mentioned in the descent. And each gate we lost our particular item that we were wearing. Now the gates themselves were this big stone wall with nothing attached to it. Like, you could basically walk around it if you wanted to. This basic stone wall with 2 torches on each side and these 2 metal doors. And this would continue looking like this all the way until we got to the judgment room. The judgment room was this big, narrow room. Like, kind of like when you see those movies where people are walking in like a dungeon or a sewer system underneath. Except for it was this big, huge stone. Bricks and all that. It was narrow. And there was these torches lit all across the wall. And in the middle was this big throne chair for Azathoth. He was in the middle. And then equal distribution on each side of him. 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Him in the middle. These were the 7 Anunnaki judges. And from what I remember, it was basically like a lit dungeon. Like a really well lit dungeon. Because there were 7 torches. For each 7 of the judges. And then when it was time to ascend, everything in reverse. Now this would be the last time I would be in the underworld. As of this time. Everything else I've met with a Ereshkigal has been in the Dreamlands. Everything else has been in the Dreamlands. Even when I met Azathoth himself, that was in the Dreamlands. But once I complete my gate walking and I start the gate walking to the Azoni, that's going to be a little bit more different now. Because I'm bound and determined to do that as well. My final thoughts on all of this. Well, outside of, my experiences being different from, say, my other brothers, that's given. It has taught me to look into a few things, like the whole Egypt, Kemet thing there. Because I didn't know that. I'm not really big on Egypt. Like, I like Egypt, or ancient Egypt, and I'm just not really that big on it. Like, history-wise. Because, since, that's like mostly taught and talked about, you know what I mean. But when I found out that Egypt used to be called Kemet, which translates to Black Land, I thought that was the coolest shit ever, because I felt a deep connection to the Black Land and the Black Earth. Since technically Sumeria, Acadia, Babylon, all right next to each other. Like the Black Land and Black Earth connection, I thought was like mind-blowing at the time. Like they didn't teach us that in school when we talked about ancient Egypt. I have been doing a little bit more research into magical colors. I kind of got sidetracked, but I've been doing some research into that as well. I need to pick that up again. Overall, I never felt fear. I was never afraid. But that's all I really have to say. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the description box down below. Or the comment section down below. You can find all my social media links if you want to come talk to me, friend me, tell me to get out of your bushes and stop staring at your sister. You can find all that in the description. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for a special event. Hopefully you guys will, and gals and others, will be able to make it. And I will see you all tomorrow. Love you all.